Okay. Hopefully the AC is not making too much noise. It is super hot today, man. It's been hot ever since we woke up this morning, so we've had that AC blasting at the apartment the whole time. Because man, it is getting crazy over here. I stepped inside my car, my car still needed to warm up. And it's hella hot, so it's hella funny. So annoying. So I waited maybe 5 minutes, and then it warmed up. So it warmed up a little bit faster than usual, than when it's super cold. But I wish it didn't have to warm up. That would be even better. We had uh, we had a pretty good, eventful weekend. Honestly, we spent some time doing a photo shoot with a homie of ours that we met who is visiting, and they wanted to get some clips in, some tutorials and things like that, so he can kind of get an idea on how to do it, or he kind of just wanted to upgrade some of his videos. So he asked me to do a bit of a photo shoot, and it was honestly pretty awesome. I was telling Jasmine how if this turns out to be something I really enjoy, I can always make videos for people, and I think that would be pretty cool because honestly, I like being behind the camera, and when I was doing it and everything, it was honestly pretty fun. And it's honestly just a tiny bit easier also being behind the camera because you get to play around with the lighting so much easier. And then when I'm in front of the camera, it gets it gets pretty difficult just because sometimes the camera's a little bit further away from me. I can't really tell how dark it is, the lighting situation, and things like that. So I can kind of just guess it a little bit. And then post production, I have to kind of mess around a little bit with the exposure because some of the clips sometimes be tripping. But they're not too bad. They're not too bad. I for sure am getting way better at taking video and just handling the camera in general, which is something that I enjoy, and it's a skill that I get to share with other folks, which is nice. So we'll see how that continues to go for us. Maybe we can make it a little bit of a hobby to take videos for folks that we know from the gym if they want to post different clips for their social media or things like that. I'm always open to help some homies out. Obviously, I only have so much time, so I have to be a select few and things like that. Just because I also want to take care of the videos that I make for you guys. But it'll be a little fun project, and it'll help me take more video. It'll also help me practice a lot more, which is what we're looking for. Which is what we're looking for. And then we also went and we had a picnic with Jasmine, which was pretty nice. I made myself a fried chicken sandwich, but the fried chicken was the one from the Kirkland one that I've shown you guys actually from the Costco haul from a few videos ago. I posted a video where I showcased a little bit of the Costco haul that we picked up, and I showed you guys those chicken fillets that I've been talking about, man. I swear, I'm such a big advocate for those because they taste so good, and they taste just like if you're eating fast food, but you can actually see what the macros are and things like that. You can actually track it better, and it for sure has way less fat than, let's say, another fried chicken sandwich from somewhere else, for example. So I really recommend that one. And if you guys don't know which one I'm talking about, just go back a few videos. You can skip to the end and you'll see what the Costco haul looks like. We also tried a few new things too that we picked up that were on sale that Jasmine wanted to pick up. So we also picked up a few other things we don't typically pick up. It's nice. And we discovered True Fruit, man. True Fruit is beautiful. It's like just dark covered chocolate strawberries with white chocolate in the inside. It tastes so good. I hella recommend it. I'm not gonna lie. It's so good as a snack. And so I typically eat it as a bit of a pre-workout. I eat it in the mornings as a pre-workout, and then I eat it in what's it called? The nighttime, sometimes post-workout. So that's typically what it looks like. I kind of just snack through it throughout the day. and I just measure them out to make sure I'm staying within my calories. But I think my calories are going to go up. I have been doing. I really started off pretty slow. I started off with 2,200 calories kind of at the beginning, and then I started moving up to around 2350, and then I kind of stayed there for a little bit of time, and now I think it's about time that we start moving up to around the 2500 mark, because we have been doing pretty good cardio. uh, we've been doing cardio every single day, every single time we go to the gym, except for maybe sometimes there's like a day off where maybe I'm doing it 5 times out of the week, or maybe sometimes I do it 6. So it just depends. But we have been way more consistent as opposed to when we were cutting. It was really difficult to incorporate as much cardio as possible while you're cutting, because you're already so low energy. Man, the last thing you want to do is start hitting cardio. So I do not blame folks who don't do cardio while they're cutting. So then that means they have to cut their calories down a little bit more. So you got to pick and choose which one you want to deal with, less food or more cardio. That's just kind of like a bit of a double-edged sword, but that's just kind of what we end up picking as we choose this as a sport. So we kind of have to get used to it. You have to get used to it too, as well, because it's just there's little things we got to sacrifice here and there when it comes to this sport. Today we are doing chest. No, not chest. Sorry. Morning, Miss Speaking. We are doing legs. Today is leg day. We are doing mainly quads. That's typically what it looks like. So we do 2 leg days, and we usually split our leg days as well. So our hamstrings go with a completely other different day, which is it goes with our chest day, just so we can split hamstrings and quads, so we can really focus on each one. Just because I feel like it's a big muscle group, and when I do hamstrings first, I use so much energy that I don't put enough energy into quads, and so vice versa. And so I think that the best thing was to split them up. So that's what we're doing. But we also hit it twice a week, every single muscle group. So for quads, we do a quad focused leg day on Mondays, and then we incorporate some biceps, and we also do forearms to make sure that we're incorporating some forearms in there. And then on Tuesday. Then on Tuesday, we do chest, triceps, and hamstrings. And then on Wednesday, I do back and shoulders. And that's usually what my split looks like. And it has allowed me to hit everything pretty well. It's been working pretty awesome. And so I typically keep my sets anywhere from 6 to 7, because it seems like it's a sweet spot for being able to hit these muscle groups twice a week. Because let's say, for example, if I'm doing 15 sets and I'm doing 15 sets every single time, and when I'm hitting it twice, I'm gonna be doing 30 sets. That's insane. There's no way. So I think you need to cut that in half. And I think doing anywhere from 6 to 10 rep range is good. I think once you start getting above 10, it's a bunch of fluff work. I think you should really focus on the intensity of the first few, and really tone down on those specifically. Because I think intensity is what really helped me a bunch. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, intensity helped me out a bunch, because believe it or not, your body doesn't know the specific weight that that's pushing. It just knows that it's pretty intense, that it's happening, and needs to adapt. And so that's what we're trying to do. But we're taking this new route, which is nice, because we don't have to deal with the traffic. I was already noticing a bunch of traffic on the other side. That was not it. So we're about maybe 10 minutes away from the gym. It's typically around the school time where folks are starting to get out. So it's gonna start getting busy around here too, as schools start letting kids out, and people are out to pick up kids. So we might have to maneuver around a little bit, because our gym is also a little bit close to the freeway, a school, a bunch of businesses. So, oh my God, it gets packed. It gets packed around there to find parking sometimes during peak hours. And we're getting pretty close to peak hours. Right now it's around 3 p.m. So we're going around usual. So we typically go around 3 p.m. That usually gives us enough time to beat a little bit of the crowd, even though sometimes I feel like the crowd beats us even if we go early, which is a bit unfortunate because sometimes I be getting there and it's like hella packed. But hopefully we come in today and it's pretty free. We are thinking of doing the hack squat first, and then we're gonna move on to the belt squat. I am thinking we're gonna be moving away from the leg press so we can focus on the belt squat and really, really get better at the belt squat. Just because we're already doing a similar movement with the hack squat, so I think it'll be good to incorporate the belt squat because it also works a little bit of your adductors, your glutes, your quads, and it takes away a little bit of that back pain that you can sometimes feel from some of those leg exercises. So I think we're gonna start incorporating those belt squats because they felt so good. I got the craziest pump. I just know things are gonna be crazy. I just know. And then we're gonna do biceps. Biceps, you kind of just keep it. Don't overthink it. With biceps, you just want to go hard. You want to pick a weight where you actually feel it in your biceps, not your forearms. What sometimes helps me is when I scoop rather than really, really grab. Because if let's say I'm grabbing it like crazy and I'm like just squeezing the hell out of the dumbbell, your forearms can kind of come into play, and then you start feeling this crazy forearm pump, and then you fail the set because your forearm gives out, not because of your biceps. So that's not what you want. You want to pick a good way where you can do a solid amount of reps and you're feeling it, the tension throughout your biceps. So just keep that in mind. And something that helps me is just keeping the weight around here and just scooping. And that has helped me take away my forearms from most things, even when it comes to back days too. Just making sure I'm scooping things rather than really gripping them. Because before, I felt like I was using a lot of my forearm and I was getting a crazy forearm pump rather than really, really feeling it where I wanted it to. And that just kind of came with practice, honestly, because I felt like I was already knew so much about the gym, but it kind of comes with practice. I feel like you kind of just constantly learn when it comes to the gym. And I think that's the fun part. The fun part is just like the learning part. You end up realizing, oh my God, this is how I can do it now. Now I can do this. And I think that's why I like taking videos so much, because sometimes it can be the randomest moment and I figured something out. Like yesterday when I was doing the photo shoot with the homie Brooke, he he was I was kind of messing around with the camera and I figured out how to really slow down the autofocus and everything to give like better visuals and things like that. And it just really gave me the ability to really play around with my camera behind it rather than the front. And so it was a nice experience and good to learn a little bit more about taking video, because man, I was in for a rude awakening when I figured out how how tricky some of these cameras are. Sometimes we think that we can just kind of pick them up and just start doing our thing. Now it took me like a solid month to maybe, yeah, like a solid month for me to actually feel any kind of feel like comfortable at all, like at all, even with like taking videos and not changing settings during mid workout, not having to worry about it. It for sure took me a solid month. And then after that I still kept learning. Even now I'm still learning about the camera a little bit. It wasn't until maybe 2 weeks ago where I learned how to mess around with the exposure. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. So now I really know how to play around with it, and I'm really happy. I am really happy because that means I can really play around with angles better now, because before I was always worrying about whether the lighting was gonna be good or not. But we're getting to the gym now. We are gonna find some parking. Hopefully, find something a little bit close, and hopefully we get access to that squad. Hopefully. Okay. Well, I'll see you guys in the next clip. Okay, so we already did a bit of a warm up. This is gonna be our second warm up, and then I'm thinking for our work, we said what we're gonna do is at 25, try to get at least a solid 6 to 7. Go from there. I'm gonna see how the footage comes out on this first clip here. So it's gonna be a bit of a test run, so I can see whether it's too dark when I'm over here, or if I need to add a little bit more bright, just adjust the exposure a little bit. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna hit this for maybe 1 or 2 to see how it feels, and then at the 25 and start a regular set. Let's do it. Probably do it without the belt right now. Okay, let's add 25. Let's do our first set. I am feeling the beta alanine kicking in right now because I'm getting a little bit of anxiety. Once I start feeling my heart rate go up. That's how I know the pre-workout's kicking in. So I'm gonna use that energy for this first set. We're gonna try to get at least a solid 6 to 7. What's good is on the next leg day, which is on Thursday, we'll be able to use the knee sleeves for. I'm hoping maybe we do either Smith machine squats next time around, or we start off with the bell squat. I'll see which one we end up doing. But our tattoo's kind of almost done healing. It takes maybe like it looks like it has maybe like around maybe like another week before I can really mess around with it more. But for now, we're gonna try to put on the knee sleeves next time around just to see how it feels. But I think we should be fine. That's typically what we did last time for our calf one, and that tattoo healed pretty well. Okay, let's do this first one. Let me grab my phone and put this on before I forget. And it seems like I actually enjoy having this platform a little bit higher than usual. I think when I was doing it beforehand, I feel like the platform was too long, and I feel like I'm too short for that. So it was better for me to really put it just one more notch up, just to make sure I'm getting the most quad flexion as possible. So let's do it. We're gonna listen to. Let's see. We're gonna ASAP Ferg. Let's do it. Okay, let's put this up and let's drop steady. Okay, I think I'm gonna go grab some tens real quick so we can add in maybe 3 more, and I think I'll be pretty good. Okay, let's finish it up. Let's do 3 more. We're gonna pause at the bottom. Okay, not so bad. Let's let's drop it down, and I think we're gonna do 15 or maybe 17 for our second set. I just need to catch my breath a little bit. Time for our second set. We ended up dropping down to 245s and 17.5. We're gonna try to get at least 6 to 8. That's what we're aiming for. And then just depending on how heavy this feels, we either drop down to 15 or we stay at 17. I'm hoping that we stay at 17, but if we have to move down to 15, we can still do pretty good damage. So I'm not tripping either way. Let's just go hard. Let's do it. I'm gonna take maybe like another 20 seconds just to catch my breath a little bit more, and then we'll start right away. Okay, let's go ahead and start. Let's turn on our music. All right. Man, we haven't had one of these days for legs in a minute where everything feels so fucking heavy. And we got the drop set this one too. The drop set real quick. Nice. Okay. We're gonna have to take like a 2 3 minute break. Go drink some water. Oh my god. We have one more set and then we're gonna move over to some I think we're gonna move over to the bell spot after this. I saw someone use a little bit of a platform to give yourself a little bit more range of motion. Super smart. I think that's what I'm gonna do too. Because last time I felt like I was stopping a little bit weird. So we're gonna test it out today and see how that goes. But let's let's hit this one for at least a solid 6 to 8. 6 to 8. We've been kind of coming in a bit short with the last couple of sets, unfortunately, just because it's. I don't know. I think I'm just having one of those days for legs today. I usually have those more often for chest than I do for legs. Usually my leg days are pretty good, but every once in a while you'll have those where you don't end up getting the same amount of reps as you wanted. But we're still gonna go hard. We just ended up dropping to 10. So we're gonna do 245s and a 10. Let's just go hard. Let's change the song. Okay, on my line. Listen to it. Let me get two more, bro. Man, I'm gonna end up feeling this shit tomorrow. Watch. Everything's all fun and games until I feel the soreness. Oh man. Let's bring this back up. Let's do two more without tense. Oh my god. Let's go ahead and let's move on to the second exercise. The belt squat was taken earlier, so no biggie. I think we're gonna end up just using it on the next time around. So we'll be able to do maybe some Smith machine squats, and then we'll move over to some belt squats the next time we hit quads. So we'll see how that goes. And we can also try it out with the knee sleeve. So we'll probably get to go a little touch just a tiny bit heavier than how we typically do because the knee sleeves kind of give you a bit of a bounce at the bottom that help you a bit. So that's always nice. It's really been a bit of a change not using them, but it hasn't been like a crazy change. It's been nice. It's a way of also building your strength if you get to use your knee sleeves and stuff like that. So it's good to switch on and off here and there. And I think the perfect time is when we're getting a tattoo and we get to give ourselves a little bit of a break from using the knee sleeves, which is nice. But because we couldn't find a platform that I've seen someone use before, we're gonna use this as a bit of an extender. So we're gonna put this on our feet going this way where the flat part is. So that way it can give us just a tiny bit more range of motion just because this one feels like it doesn't go deep enough. And I wanna go just a tiny bit deeper to get a little bit more quad flexion. But we're also gonna be go pretty heavy on this one. I'm thinking maybe we'll do 290. Probably go from there. See how it goes. It's a little bit of a tricky one to set up sometimes, but let's do it. Well, it's not gonna take off our shoes because too much work. There we go. Yeah, we're not good today. Let's do it. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna take a bit of a break. And then just drops it just a tiny bit. Uh, okay. All right. The only go for the first. Take a 2 minute break. And we're gonna drop down maybe 15, 20 pounds and get a solid, I think 7 to 10. We'll see. We tried to do this 290, but my legs are too cooked. So we ended up dropping down. We did, I think it's like 255. And now we're doing, and then we dropped down for a little bit to try to hit it for another one. But all right, for our second set of these, we're gonna do 235. I think that should be pretty good. For our working set, or for our main set before this, we ended up doing 250. So let's see how this goes. Man, I'll be beat. I'm so cooked. Oh man. There it is. Okay. It's one of those days, but we're still gonna go hard because my legs are pretty cooked. I am going to want to drop set real quick. Take your baby 3 or 4 more. All right, let's do it. What up? So you put it on again. All right, so this is the drop set. You guys can see how much range of motion the other one gives me compared to this. Okay, I'd say there's more to some leg extensions now. Man, I'm pretty cooked. All right, we finally got through this thing. All right, let's see. Ah. Ah. All right, it's hard to take this thing off. I'm fucking gonna get this. Okay, so that was a lot harder to settle than I thought. Took a lot longer too, unfortunately. So what we ended up doing is just doing a little bit more higher volume because usually for our last sets, they're a little bit on the lighter side, a little bit more controlled and everything. And so that's what we're gonna do with this one because we didn't have access to that leg extension back there because it's getting a little bit busy at the gym. So what I'm gonna do is hit this one for another set of these, and then we should be good. And then we should be good. We finally figured out how to set up a little bit. The little hook on this thing is like it's like on so tight. I couldn't take it off. Last time when I did it, it was a lot easier, but not this time around. Not this time around. All right, let's do this. There's a problem with this thing too. It's like there we go. Man, I'm having the hardest fucking time with this thing. This is what I get for trying new things sometimes. Okay. Let's hit it for one more. And let's try to go further. I'm going to try to get at least another 10. Because I felt a pretty good burn with that. Oh my fucking god. Oh. Okay. That's enough. Let's clean this up and let's go do some adductors. Let's go ahead and do our first set of bicep curls. What we're gonna do is do this reverse reverse preacher curl bench. So what we typically do is just a reverse switch. So that way this side here keeps our elbows in place throughout the whole movement. We're going to try to go nice and slow, get a really, really good stretch, and try to push up as much with our bicep as possible. So we're going to try to take away our forearm. So we're going to put the weight here on the palm instead of kind of gripping it really, really hard. And we're going to use the Versa grips to help us out a little bit. I started using them, I think, 2 bicep days or 2 bicep workouts ago or 2 bicep sessions is what I mean. And I ended up using them, and they felt pretty good. They were stable throughout the whole movement. I wasn't using any of my forearm, and it was pretty good. It stayed on my palm the whole time. So I think we're gonna end up just replicating that for this one. Instead of doing 35, we're gonna do 30s. Try to go as hard as we can. Try to get as many as we can. Hopefully, we can get at least a solid 7 to 8 on each hand. That would make me really happy. But let's see. Okay, I do 2 more just like that. What I'm gonna end up doing is doing, I think, 1 more set of 30s for 6. And then what I'll do is I think I'm gonna move down to either 27 or 25 just to get a little bit more volume and just to keep it a little bit more controlled. But that was pretty good. Let's replicate that and try to get at least another 6 reps on each hand. At least we managed to get the 7 to 8 rep range that we wanted. So that was pretty good. All right. Let's do our second set. Like I mentioned, we're gonna stick to 30s, and then we're gonna move down to, I think, either 25 or 27, 25, one of those two. But man, that first set already gave me a pretty good pump, which I like. Can't wait to show you guys a pump check. I think today's gonna have to be a quad underwear pump check because we did not bring any shorts. Okay, that was good. Let's do one more just like that. I think I'm gonna end up moving down to 25. I think that should be pretty good. And then I just switch around and then do some preacher curls. Honestly, I think that should be pretty good. So I think that's what we're gonna end up doing. So we're gonna do one more set of these. Move on to the preacher curls for maybe 2 sets. And I'm thinking we're gonna do some cables. Maybe we'll do a some type of single arm curl. I think that should be pretty good. Okay. And make sure this thing's pointing at me. It is perfect. Let's do this third set and let's finish this off. We're gonna end up just switching around afterwards. I'm hoping we can get at least a solid maybe 10 to 11. I think that should be pretty good. And then I'll just take it a steady, go from there. All right, let's do it. On the last one, we forgot to use the belt to stabilize a little bit. So on this time around, we're not gonna forget. We're gonna use it. Sometimes the belt can give you a bit of an extra edge, and it can help you a little bit maybe towards maybe like an extra rep or two. That's typically way. Oh, okay. Okay, I appreciate it. Okay, but let's go ahead and let's just finish it off. Hopefully, we can get a solid 10. That's what I'm hoping. Sometimes when it gets really hard, what I'll do is just go one hand at a time. And that helps me out too. Ah, ah. Okay. I think we can okay, we can move on to some cables now because man, this hurts so much. What I think I'll do is I think I'll use the preacher curl machine that we have in front of me. That one's pretty good because it has a really it kind of keeps you in place the whole time. It already has a select path in. So that's pretty good. I usually recommend using that one if let's say you don't feel as stable with doing a dumbbell with like something right here. So you can always do something a little bit more isolated where it keeps you in place the whole time. That's sometimes what I like to do when I do what are they incline curls. Sometimes it feels a little bit more wobbly, but then when I end up doing it on the machine over here in front of us, that literally mimics the exact same movement, I feel way more stable. So I say play around with the different machines that you have at your gym and see which one you like, and just use the ones you like. You don't have to use something you don't like because then you won't have fun. And if you're doing something you're having fun with, you're more likely to stick to it. So I suggest just picking and choosing which ones you like and which ones you don't like. But we're gonna switch around. Actually, no, we're not gonna switch around. We're gonna go to the other one. We're gonna do those spiritual curls. I'm gonna take maybe like a 2-minute break. I think we'll be straight. And we'll go over there. Let's see how it goes. All right, let's move on to our last exercise. We ended up doing one set of preacher curls, which is pretty good. I think we ended up doing 60. We did, how many we do? How many reps? I think we got 9, which is pretty good. We took a little bit of a longer break, and then we're gonna do maybe this one for, I'm thinking 3 sets. On 3 sets, so that would leave us at 3 sets for those curls that we did with the preacher curl bench, and then we did one preacher curl, which was, what's that, 4, and we're gonna do 3 here, so we're gonna do 7 sets total, and I think that should be pretty good. We don't really have to do more than that. I feel like once you start getting to maybe around the 10, like I mentioned, it just becomes a lot of volume, and I think if you're going pretty hard, there's no way I'm gonna recover in time if I'm doing a bunch of volume. So I just want to make sure I'm being careful with everything, you know. Let me fix the lighting a little bit here. So that way, yeah, it should see a little bit better. Way better. Awesome. Let's start with our left hand. Come on. Perfect. Oh my god. Okay. We got 7 on that hand. Let's get 7 on this hand. Oh man. And I think what I'm gonna do is change the angle so I can get a little bit better lighting because it's a little bit dark right here where we're at. I kind of forgot what we got on our left hand, so we ended up getting 7 on our right. I'm pretty sure we got at least 7 on our left, so I think we'll be good. I'll try to make sure that I keep a note, a mental note, on how many we got on the next set because well, just make sure we're doing exactly the same. We don't want to start getting a little bit destructured and we start doing 5 on this hand and then 3 on this hand or something. So let's just try to get a better mental note on this next one. I think we're gonna move down just a tiny bit from 25.5 to I'm thinking 24. I think that'll be good. We're gonna start with our left. Then move the camera. So we're gonna stay here for the entire rest of the workout. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys one more set of these, and then I'm gonna do a third set. And then I think the next clip you guys are gonna see after that is gonna be the pose down.
just so I don't add an extra unnecessary set of regular bicep curls to the video. Might as well just add maybe just two, and then I'll do a third one, but I just won't film it. But the next clip is gonna be of the pose app for you guys. We're probably gonna be doing it in the bathroom, the most privacy, and then we're going to sit here and do some forms. We're gonna be here for quite some time, and then we gotta do some cardio. So it's not too bad. All right, well, let's finish this one off. We're gonna start with our left, and then just match it. Okay, let's get something right. Okay, now let's let's switch over for the punch check for you guys. I'm gonna stay here for one more, and then start forearms. Probably gonna do either 3 to 4 sets of forearms. We're gonna do 3 of these, and then 3 pulls for this side, and then our back side. So let's see how that goes, man. Okay, we did a bit of a quad day, but I'm gonna do a quick pump check before folks start walking in here because it's not that busy right now, which is nice. But let me actually move, brighten this up a bit. It's a little dark. Way better. That's awesome. Let's make it dark one more. 60, I think is a perfect. All right. Let's see what kind of damage we did today. Man, we didn't really get access to that leg extension like we usually like to do, but no biggie. I think we still did pretty good. Today we're rocking a bit of a how's it looking, man? Quad day has been my favorite day, honestly. Just building my legs has been nice. Things have been looking pretty crazy. Let's get a side view. Nice. Let me bring this up just a tiny bit so we can see a little bit more of the bicep. There we go. We also didn't get to do abductors today because the abductor machine is broken. Maybe that will give them a bit of a opportunity to replace it, maybe get a better one. Because they've been getting a bunch of new machines. So hopefully they do that. We're gonna stop by Safeway in a bit because we have to pick up a bunch of stuff like cheese, some of those Quakers, and then a bunch of stuff. Maybe I'll put the list here so you guys can see a list that me and Jasmine created. This is what we're gonna be picking up after this. All right, let's get a side bicep pose on both sides, and then we'll head over there. We'll head to do some cardio. Okay. I will see you guys tomorrow for some chest, some triceps, and some hamstrings. Man, today kicked our ass.